I was just watching a bunch of Lucy Moon videos, and I think in true British tradition, it's time to make some tea. So I had my tea and I watched a couple of Lucy Moon videos, and before that I'd watched Zootopia, and I'm been having like a weird night where it's like everything's kind of been like a serious tone and kind of just reflecting on myself since I've been back in Austin. I didn't really do that when I was in San Antonio for the 2 weeks I was there for Christmas and for New Year's. So it's weird being alone with my thoughts again. One of the things that especially struck me in Zootopia when I was watching that was that whole idea that like there was a plan that she had to follow. There was a plan that like Judy had to do. Like there was no bunny cops. And that was just like a thing that she had to overcome. And I know that there are a lot of biases against the kinds of things that I want to do with my life because it's not the traditional way that people tend to live. I want to write or make films or pursue some other creative field. I just said this recently on my Tumblr. I was talking about the possibility that I might become a teacher. I might become an English or a history teacher because that's the fallback. That's always been my fallback, which is something that I would really enjoy. I think I would really enjoy teaching, but it's not my dream. I would love to be able to say that like I can just quit everything right now and I can just pursue like a creative field. I can just freelance. I can write for myself. And it's something that I've been trying to do, but I feel like a lot of things just keep getting in the way. Like my apartment rent, I barely made it this month. My hand has been giving me problems, so I've been having harder times writing and editing and doing things in general. At work today, I was trying to shelve books and I was in a lot of pain, even wearing my wrist brace. And so like physical problems, financial problems, in general ways that I feel. I've been having my mood swings with my depression lately, and it's just hard to feel like I can be successful at this. It's that feeling of coping with I'm not good enough or everything's against me. Like I feel like all these obstacles keep happening and I need to push forward, but sometimes it physically hurts me to push forward, and then sometimes it's impractical to push forward. I've thought about getting a second job recently because I just need to pay off more things. But that will get in the way of things that make me mentally stable, which is my meditation, going to therapy, taking time to not work on school or do work. And especially with the semester starting in like 2 weeks, it's something that I should be focusing on more. And my mom told me I don't need to worry. I need to focus on getting myself at peace. And that she'll help out with that a lot. But it's just one of those things that I've been struggling with lately. I'm trying not to get all emotional on you guys, like on the second day of veg, but that might happen a couple times this month, because some of these things I just need to say. We started off this video so cheerily with me making tea, and I've just gone through this like emotional spiral. The past 2 days I've really been binge watching a bunch of YouTubers I really enjoy and people who I look up to, people who inspire me. One of the things that I love about the internet is the fact that I think YouTube has been something that's gotten me through a lot of my life. It's been around for the whole 10 years that I've been on it. When YouTube started in 2006, I was in 4th grade, I believe, and I was already watching YouTube videos, and I'm 20 now, and I'm still watching, and I've never understood when people talk about the internet as being a negative thing. I feel like I've made so many friends on Tumblr, I've made so many friends in like YouTube communities, people who are there for me if I ever really need them. Like if you make like a cryptic post on Tumblr, a bunch of people will ask you if you're okay, which makes you actually think, am I okay right now? And I think it's been a good check on my mental state, making sure that I never get too far gone, because whenever I start to feel distressed, I head to those communities and I seek comfort in them. Another thing that comes with watching a lot of YouTubers who inspire me is that it makes me want to work more, and it makes me want to work harder towards my goals, but I'm so afraid of everything. I'm just so scared of putting myself out there all the time, and it's not even like what other people will think of me, it's what I will think of me, and I constantly judge myself, and I constantly think that I'm not good enough, and that my work isn't good enough, and that it just will never get me anywhere. A bunch of stuff I haven't finished because I don't like the way that it sounds. I don't think that my writing is good, and it's been taking a toll on just my mental state, holding on to everything. Every time a new semester starts or is about to start, I start thinking about my career. That's a lie. I think about that every single day. I don't know if everyone else always thinks about these things all the time, but every day, at least several times a day, I'm thinking about, what am I doing to get further? Why am I not working hard enough? What do I really want to do? How do I get to the thing that I want to do? Why am I settling for this? Why am I not doing this thing instead? Why don't I add this major? Why don't I quit this major? I'm just constantly battling myself for what is the right answer. When I was in high school, I was always the one who like had it figured out, and like even in middle school, elementary school, I was always the one who people thought like I was the one who's gonna go far. People thought that I would be like a mayor or a senator, or they thought that I was gonna be like an architect or an engineer or a doctor. Everyone always thought that I was gonna have one of these like big, like high-paying jobs, that I was gonna be the one who like succeeded like beyond everyone else. And I still want to be that person, but not in what everyone else always wanted me to be, which was a lot of pressure growing up, and is still a lot of pressure now, because I know a lot of those people know how much I work and know the way that I work, and they think that the kind of drive that I have means that I can succeed at something that I put my mind to, but I put a lot of stress on myself. If something doesn't go the way that I expect it to, or if I don't make a video that comes out exactly the way that I wanted it to, or a story that sounds terrible or just not perfect, it really gets to me. My junior year of high school, I had considered applying to a film school. I had considered applying to the USC Film School, but after hearing that the writing program only had like 23 spots, I believe, I scrapped the whole idea. I'm like, I'm not good enough, I'm not gonna get into this program. And that was the summer that I decided that I was gonna pursue microbiology, because it was safe and guaranteed, and I had the grades, and I was gonna get in. And that led into like 2 years of major self-doubt and a lot of struggling with my identity that I'm still having a hard time recovering from after senior and freshman year. It's very hard when you're in college and people tell you like, oh, you still have time to figure it out, but it seems like so many things are locked in. Once you get into college, you have to declare a major by your sophomore year, and you can't really change anything after that because they want you to graduate in 4 years. And I've thought about dropping out. I've thought about going back to San Antonio. I've thought about if I could really freelance full-time. I started writing a lot of like news articles, like blog post type things that I was going to put into a portfolio and start really trying to give them to other publications or other people for like their websites. and it's still something I might do because I do question whether I should be here a lot of the time. So we don't end this video on a more somber note than we both came into this. I'm going to read you a poem by Frank O'Hara. Lines to a depressed friend. Joyous you should be, of all things sweet, the most constant and most pure, eager for what might be obtained. Luck and life and hideous certainty preventing, ease and certainty inclining to neglect, so that real world blue in the eye, this umber sky about us drowns. And where emptiness appears bounding along, of unrest the most diligent athlete and keenest mate, remember the pleasure, even there, your beauty affords.